La Belle Dame sans Merci. Opening scene: a red-haired woman leans from her horse toward a knight, her lips inches from his. The moment is tender, almost cinematic, but beneath this beauty lies a warning. A tale of enchantment, illusion, and doom. This is La Belle Dame sans Merci, painted by Sir Frank Bernard Dixie in 1901. And today, we'll uncover the story behind the canvas, a story that blends poetry, myth, and the haunting power of art. 1. The painting that became a legend. Some paintings are more than visual beauty, they are stories frozen in time. La Belle Dame sans Merci is one of them. Inspired by a ballad written by John Keats in 1819, Dixie's painting captures the precise moment when a knight falls under the spell of a mysterious woman. But to understand this scene, we must first understand the man who painted it. 2. Who was Frank Bernard Dixie? Born in 1853 into a family of artists, Dixie was surrounded by creativity. His father, Thomas Dixie, was a painter. His sister, Margaret, also became an artist. From the age of 13, Frank studied at the Royal Academy of Arts in London. A prodigy among prodigies, his talent was quickly noticed by John Everett Millais, one of the founders of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, who mentored him. Dixie's early works were steeped in romanticism and idealism. He painted historical scenes, mythological figures, and literary heroines. His style was dramatic, sensual, and emotionally charged. By the early 20th century, he had become one of Britain's most celebrated portraitists, painting aristocrats and royalty, including Queen Mary of Teck. But Dixie's true passion lay in storytelling through art. And La Belle Dame sans Merci was his masterpiece, a swan song of Victorian romanticism. 3. The Pre-Raphaelite influence. Dixie was heavily influenced by the Pre-Raphaelites, a group of artists who rejected the academic standards of their time. Founded in 1848 by Rossetti, Hunt, and Millet, the Brotherhood sought to return to the purity and detail of early Renaissance art. They were inspired by medieval themes, nature, and literature. Their paintings were rich in symbolism, emotion, and narrative. Women were often portrayed as ethereal, mysterious, and powerful, sometimes dangerously so. Dixie absorbed these ideals, even though he was not formally part of the Brotherhood. His work carried their spirit forward into the 20th century. 4. The Ballad by John Keats. The painting is based on Keats's haunting poem La Belle Dame sans Merci, written in 1819. The ballad tells of a knight who meets a beautiful woman in the forest. She has wild eyes and sings him magical songs. He lifts her onto his horse, and she takes him to an elfin grotto. There, she weeps, and he kisses her eyes. But then, he dreams. He sees the ghosts of her former lovers, pale and warning. She is without mercy. He wakes alone, on a cold hillside, cursed to wander forever. Keats's night is pale as a lily, a symbol of death. His fate is ambiguous. Is he dead? Bewitched? Punished for breaking vows of chastity? The lady is supernatural, seductive, and merciless. She lures men to their doom. 5. Dixie's interpretation. Dixie chose the moment before the fall, the instant of enchantment. The knight reaches toward the lady, helmetless and vulnerable. His armor gleams, not with menace, but nobility. His face shows awe, not fear. He is already under her spell. The lady, with her flowing red hair and pale skin, is the quintessential Pre-Raphaelite femme fatale. Her beauty is cold, detached. She gazes with curiosity, not affection. She accepts worship, but offers no warmth. Her gown is light, almost ghostly. The knight's armor is heavy, grounded. The contrast is striking: fragility versus strength, illusion versus reality. 6. Symbolism and composition. The painting is rich in symbolism. The horse, powerful and restless, represents the knight's earthly strength. The lady's stillness suggests supernatural control. Nature surrounds them not as a backdrop, but as a participant. The elfin world is alive, watching. Dixie painted the armor with archaeological precision, likely inspired by 15th century plate armor. Yet it feels soft, reflective, not threatening. The knight is not a warrior here. He is a pilgrim, a seeker, a victim. The lady's red hair, symbolizes passion and danger. Her pale skin evokes death and mystery. Her expression is unreadable, calm, aloof, perhaps amused. She is not seducing, she is receiving. 7. Reception and legacy. When the painting was exhibited at the Royal Academy in 1902, it was a sensation. Victorian audiences, raised on romantic literature and chivalric ideals, were captivated. Critics praised Dixie's draftsmanship, psychological depth, and ability to bring poetry to life. Today, the painting is housed at the Bristol Museum and Art Gallery. It remains one of the finest examples of late pre-Raphaelitism, a visual poem, a warning, a dream. 8. The femme fatale archetype. Dixie's lady is part of a long tradition, de femme fatale. From Eve to Circe, from Helen of Troy to Salome, art and literature have long portrayed women as both divine and dangerous. The pre-Raphaelites embraced this duality, painting women as muses and monsters. In La Vieille Dame sans Merci, the lady is not evil. She is elemental, a force of nature. She does not seduce, she exists. And men fall. 9. The knight's fate. What happens to the knight? Is he dead? Cursed? Lost in illusion? Keats leaves it open. Dixie captures the moment before the answer. The knight is enchanted, but not yet broken. The tragedy is coming, but not yet arrived. This tension is what makes the painting so powerful. It is not the fall, it is the breath before the fall. 10. Final reflection. La Belle Dame sans Merci is more than a painting. It is a meditation on beauty, desire, and illusion. It reminds us that enchantment often comes with a price, and that the most dangerous spells are the ones we cast on ourselves. In the contrast between the knight's armor and the lady's gaze lies a warning. Not all beauty is kind, not all love is safe, and not all stories end with a kiss. Thank you for joining me on this journey into art, myth, and meaning. If you enjoy exploring the hidden stories behind legendary paintings, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Many more tales await, each one a portal into mystery, emotion, and timeless wisdom.